Helen Mirren is finally confirming the rumors at the age of 76, you see. Helen Mirren, the celebrated and iconic actress from the 60s and 70s, has captivated audiences worldwide with her unparalleled talent and charismatic presence on screen. Her career has been marked by notable performances and a reputation for grace. However, behind the dazzling facade lie many dark, disturbing, and disgusting secrets that have remained concealed from the public eye for far too long. But in a recent interview, Helen Mirren confirms the rumors about her life, including her freaky hobbies, along with a terrible revelation about being sexually assaulted from a young age. Helen, originally named Helen Lydia Marinoff, was born on July 26, 1945, in Hammersmith, London. Her father, Vasily Petrovich Mironov, had Russian noble origins, while her mother, Kathleen Alexandra Eva Matilda, was a working-class woman from East London. What's fascinating is that her family had ties to Queen Victoria's service back in the 1800s. Her parents, Vasily Petrovich Mironov and Kathleen Rogers, had a tumultuous relationship, which was the start of the difficulties in Helen's life. The family struggled financially, and this instability left a lasting impact on young Helen. Tragedy struck early in Helen's life when her father died when she was just 9 years old. His sudden death was a significant blow to the family's already fragile situation. With her father gone, Helen's mother struggled to provide for the children. They lived in a small flat in West London, and making ends meet was a constant struggle. Despite the hardships at home, Helen was a bright and determined young girl. She attended St. Bernard's High School for girls and showed an early interest in acting. Her talent was noticed by a teacher who encouraged her to pursue her passion. This support gave Helen a glimmer of hope and motivation to escape her difficult circumstances. As she grew older, Helen continued to excel in her studies and her love for acting. At the age of 18, she auditioned for the National Youth Theatre and was accepted, marking the beginning of her journey into the world of acting. This was a turning point in her life as it offered her a way out of the struggles and instability she had experienced growing up. During the Second World War, Helen's family decided to change their last names to avoid any trouble. Despite not coming from a wealthy background, they took this step to keep themselves safe during the challenging times of the war. Helen's dad worked really hard to make ends meet. He drove a taxi and played the viola in an orchestra. But when the Second World War came along, things got tougher for their family. Her father had to become an ambulance driver and was assigned to duty in the East End of London. After the Second World War, both of Helen's parents got married. To avoid any issues with the British authorities during those times, they decided to change their last name to Mirren. Helen was born during this period, and her family had to work extra hard to take care of her. Her father even left the orchestra to put in more hours as a taxi driver. Eventually, he changed jobs again and started working as a civil servant with the Ministry of Transport. Helen was raised alongside Tanya Mallet, who later became a Bond girl. Helen's upbringing was quite different from what many might consider typical. She grew up alongside her cousin Tanya Mallet, who would later go on to achieve fame as a Bond girl. This unusual childhood experience had a lasting impact on Helen's life. Helen was the middle child in her family, with an older sister named Kathy, who was given her name by their mother. This naming tradition may seem ordinary, but it was one of the few conventional aspects of Helen's early life. She also had a younger brother named Peter, but she didn't spend much time with him. Instead, her closest companion was her paternal cousin, Tanya. The two girls grew up in Essex, a region known for its picturesque countryside and quaint villages. However, their upbringing was far from idyllic. Helen described their family as anti-monarchist, which meant that they held strong opinions against the British monarchy. This belief was instilled in Helen from a young age and shaped her perspective on the world. Despite their unconventional views, Helen and Tanya shared a close bond as cousins and childhood friends. They often explored the countryside together, taking long walks and discovering hidden spots that would become cherished memories. These moments of simplicity contrasted sharply with Tanya's future as a Bond girl. a role that would catapult her into the glamorous world of Hollywood. As the years went by, Tanya's modeling career took off, and she eventually caught the eye of casting agents looking for the next Bond girl. Her striking looks and charisma made her a perfect fit for the role, and she soon found herself on the set of a James Bond film, becoming an international sensation. Helen Mirren's strong dislike for the idea of having children was a significant aspect of her life that she made no secret of. This aspect of her personality is quite intriguing when you consider her early relationships and marriage. In the early 1980s, Helen Mirren had a romantic involvement with Liam Neeson. Their love story began on the set of Excalibur in 1981, where they first crossed paths. At that time, both were budding actors, trying to find their way in the competitive world of Hollywood. Interestingly, Liam Neeson once shared in an interview that Helen was not just a supportive partner in their relationship, but she also played a pivotal role in his career. She encouraged him to seek a personal agent, demonstrating her genuine interest in his success. Despite the initial spark, their relationship did not stand the test of time. A few years later, Helen Mirren decided to explore her romantic options and eventually fell for American director Taylor Hackford. Their love story blossomed, leading to a lifelong commitment. Helen Mirren and Taylor Hackford exchanged vows on December 31, 1997, marking the beginning of their marital journey together. However, their romantic connection began much earlier, in 1986. Their wedding ceremony was a picturesque affair, taking place in the scenic Scottish Highlands at the Arterspear Parish Church. This marriage was a significant event in Helen's life, as it was not only her first but also her only marriage. On the other hand, it marked Taylor Hackford's third trip down the aisle. One might wonder why Helen Mirren, a successful and accomplished woman who had enjoyed a fulfilling career and a loving marriage, held such a strong aversion to the idea of having children. It's important to understand that people's perspectives on parenthood can be shaped by various factors, and Helen was no exception. For some individuals, the idea of raising children can be daunting, and they may have their reasons for not wanting to become parents. In Helen's case, it is clear that she prioritized her career and her relationships over starting a family. She was a dedicated actress who achieved recognition and acclaim in her field, and her marriage to Taylor Hackford was a significant source of happiness and companionship for her. It is entirely possible that she made a conscious decision to not have children to maintain the lifestyle and career she had built for herself. Helen Mirren, the famous actress known for her impressive career in the entertainment industry, has a rather unconventional passion that some may find quite shocking. She is a dedicated naturist, also known as a nudist. While many may admire her for her acting prowess and accomplishments, her love for shedding her clothes in natural settings has garnered mixed reactions from the public. One notable moment in Helen Mirren's journey as a naturist occurred in 2013, when she participated in Marks & Spencer's Womanism campaign. This campaign aimed to celebrate women of all ages and backgrounds, and Helen was chosen as the leading lady. It was indeed a significant achievement for a seasoned actress like her to be part of such an influential campaign alongside other remarkable women, including Olympic gold medalist boxer Nicola Adams, renowned pop singer Ellie Goulding, and even Monica Ali. However, it was during an interview with Radio Times that Helen Mirren candidly opened up about her naturist tendencies, revealing that she feels a strong connection to being in natural settings like the beach or the woods, where people shed their clothes to embrace the freedom of these environments. To Helen, age, attractiveness, or any other superficial qualities were irrelevant when it came to enjoying the liberating experience of being in the nude. In 2004, Helen Mirren was honored with the title of Naturist of the Year, a recognition that solidified her commitment to the naturist lifestyle. For her, being a naturist is not just a passing interest, but a fundamental part of who she is. She takes immense pleasure in strolling on a nude beach, surrounded by people from all walks of life. To her, nudity brings a sense of freedom and equality that transcends societal norms, gender, and appearances. However, Helen's unabashed love for naturism has not been without its critics. Some have labeled her as disgusting and questioned the appropriateness of her choice to bare it all in public settings. Critics argue that there is a time and a place for such activities, and public spaces like beaches should maintain a level of modesty. Furthermore, Helen's naturist lifestyle has also raised concerns about the impact on her professional image. While she may be celebrated for her acting talents, some worry that her choice to be a prominent advocate for naturism could overshadow her career achievements. The question arises as to whether her dedication to the naturist cause is a distraction from her work as an actress. Despite the controversy and criticism surrounding her naturist lifestyle, Helen Mirren remains unapologetic about her choices. She believes that embracing nudity in natural settings is a celebration of the human body and a way to break free from the constraints of societal norms. She sees herself as a champion for body positivity and self-acceptance, and she is willing to endure the negative attention to promote these values. Even before Helen's film career began, a documentary was made about her. You see, as she grew older, she started working in the National Youth Theatre, where her talents and performances stood out. She received an invitation to join the Royal Shakespeare Company, and from 1965 to 1967, she appeared in various projects. During those years, she also worked in 4 additional projects directed by Bravo Berry at the University Theatre in Manchester. Just 3 years later, a documentary titled Doing Her Own Thing, inspired by Helen's work with the Royal Shakespeare Company, was directed by John Goldsmith. This documentary was broadcast on ITV, showcasing her journey in the world of theatre. In 1972 and 1973, Helen's career took her to different places. She collaborated with the Peter Brook International Center for Theatre Research and joined a touring group that traveled across the United States and even ventured into parts of North Africa. After these tours, Helen returned to the Royal Shakespeare Company, where she took on the role of Lady Macbeth in the 1974 production. Helen Mirren doesn't believe in God, you see. In September 2007, Helen, the famous actress, decided to put her life story down on paper and share it with the world. She titled her autobiography, "In the Frame: My Life in Words and Pictures, for All to See." This was a big move for her, as she had always been a rather private person, keeping her personal life away from the prying eyes of the media and the public. But in this book, she decided to open up and reveal some of her innermost secrets. The book was a combination of words and pictures, allowing readers to not only read about her life, but also see it through the photographs she included. This was a unique approach, as most autobiographies are typically filled with just text. Helen's decision to include pictures from her career gave readers a visual insight into her journey in the world of theater and her acting career. But it's not all glitz and glamour in Helen's autobiography. She doesn't shy away from sharing the tough times she went through as well. She talks about the rejection and heartbreaks she faced in the entertainment industry. The constant pressure to look a certain way and meet the expectations of Hollywood took a toll on her, and she candidly discusses her battles with self-doubt and body image issues. In an interview with Esquire magazine in August 2011, Helen made another revelation about herself that garnered attention. She openly declared herself as a devoted atheist, expressing her disbelief in God. This was a bold statement, especially in an industry where spirituality and faith are often celebrated. She didn't hold back, even making a humorous remark about having more faith in something else. This declaration sparked a lot of discussion and debate. Some people praised Helen for her honesty and courage in expressing her beliefs, while others criticized her for going against the norm. It's no secret that religion is a sensitive topic, and Helen's statement stirred the pot in more ways than one. In the interview, Helen explained that her atheism was not a recent revelation, but something she had believed in for a long time. She talked about how she had questioned religion from a young age and how her experiences in the entertainment industry had only solidified her atheistic beliefs. She felt that the pursuit of fame and success often led people to compromise their values and principles, and she didn't want to be a part of that. While Helen's atheism was met with mixed reactions, it did not deter her from being true to herself. She continued to be a successful actress, taking on challenging roles and receiving critical acclaim for her performances. Her career continued to flourish, and she remained steadfast in her beliefs, unapologetically embracing her atheism. In an exclusive interview with GQ, Helen Mirren revealed that during her student years, she had been a victim of sexual assault on multiple occasions. Helen's decision to open up about her past experiences with sexual assault was a significant and courageous step. In her interview with GQ in 2008, she spoke candidly about the challenges she faced during her student years, shedding light on the issue of sexual assault and its often underreported nature. Helen's revelation about being a victim of sexual assault multiple times during her student years shed light on a pervasive issue that affects countless individuals, especially young women. By sharing her own story, she aimed to raise awareness about the importance of addressing this problem head-on, encouraging others to come forward and seek support when they have experienced similar traumas. She attributed some of her experiences to her active social life during her 20s, attending numerous parties and experimenting with various medications and drugs. This part of her story resonated with many young adults who may have found themselves in similar situations. Helen's honesty in acknowledging the role her choices played in her experiences highlighted the importance of making informed decisions and being cautious about the potential risks associated with certain activities. Furthermore, Helen's revelation about her past drug use and her decision to stop using these substances after learning about the profit drug dealers made from selling them brought attention to the broader issue of substance abuse and its societal implications. Her willingness to address this topic head-on emphasized the need for education and awareness regarding the dangers of drug use. "I liked coke. I didn't do it much, just a bit at parties," Mirren shared in the interview, which was released to the public on Monday. "But what made me stop was when they apprehended Nazi war criminal Klaus Barbie, known as the Butcher of Lyon, in the early 80s. He was found hiding in South America, making money from being involved in the cocaine business." She said, "When I read that in the newspaper, it all became clear to me. I realized how my occasional use of cocaine at parties indirectly connected to this terrible man in South America. Substance abuse is a complex issue that can have devastating effects on individuals and their communities. It can lead to physical and mental health problems, strained relationships, legal troubles, and even death." Helen's decision to quit using drugs after discovering the profit drug dealers made from selling them demonstrated her commitment to making positive changes in her life. Helen Mirren also opened up about her experiences with date-related incidents. "I've been in situations where I didn't want to, yes, a couple of times. It wasn't really violent, like getting hit, but more like being stuck in a room and forced into something I didn't want." She then shared her thoughts on a complicated situation she sees as a gray area. Mirren discussed a scenario where a woman willingly goes to a man's bedroom, gets involved in intimate activity, but then changes her mind and says no at the last moment. Mirren believes there might not be a legal case if the man proceeds against her wishes. "I don't think she can take that man to court in such circumstances. It's one of those many tricky aspects of how men and women navigate their relationships." Vera Baird, the Solicitor General of Britain, expressed concern about Mirren's comments. "We want women to feel confident reporting cases of assault. It's regrettable to cast doubt on what she thinks might not be considered assault," Baird told the Guardian newspaper. Mirren also shared that in her very tough early years, she used to take things without paying. "I had to take things from stores to get by," she revealed, mentioning that even though she appreciated the glamour associated with being a movie star, she still held on to her thrifty habits, cutting her own hair and wearing inexpensive glasses from discount stores. What do you think about Helen Mirren? Make sure to leave a comment and let us know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates. Thanks for watching.